My name's Jeff Makarevich, and welcome to Wine and Dine with Jeff, where I'll make a healthy dinner from start to finish and pair it with wines from around the world. Let's fill up that glass.
Hi, my name's Jeff Makarevich, and welcome to Wine and Dine with Jeff. Today, we're making shoyu chicken. It is this fusion between Hawaiian and Japanese cultures that is just fantastic. I fell in love with it while visiting Hawaii, and I'm pairing it with this California Pinot. We'll talk a little bit more about that later, but let's get started right in here. Only 7 ingredients, plus your chicken thighs, that is. It's all about the shoyu. And just right off the bat to let you know, shoyu is soy sauce. So yes, if you can't find what's saying shoyu in the actual aisles of your grocery store, shoyu. I found it at my local Whole Foods here. If you have I know I have a large American following. Most of the brand of the soy sauce here is the Kikkoman. I recommend you buying the light for this because the Kikkoman is a little higher sodium than a regular shoyu, which is actually a Hawaiian and Japanese. And for that, we have some fresh ginger, garlic, a Maui onion, some brown sugar, and some low sodium chicken stock. So let's get started. I have a 3-inch piece of fresh ginger here, and a little trick, if you didn't know, you can take the back of your spoon and look how easy the skin comes off on this fresh ginger. It's so much easier than doing it with a knife, and you lose a lot less of your ginger, that is. Now look how easy that was to peel. Now we're going to cut little slivers here of this fresh ginger, and you can run your knife back over it a few times and it just easily come right down. And what I like to do then is make some matchbox cuts just like so, because this is going to keep in the actual sauce itself. So little cuts just like so. I have a whole head of garlic here. Yes, a whole head of garlic all smashed up. And I just do a little pout with the hand like that. We just want to break it open. That's all. And then just run your knife over it just like so. That's perfectly fine the way it is right now in these large chunks, because these are all going to caramelize in that sauce and just become sweet and delicious. For our protein, we're going to be using chicken thighs, bone-in, skin on. Now, it's your choice. If you don't want skin on, you don't have to have it on. I just like it, and it's how it's normally done for the shoyu chicken. And a little tip about the chicken thighs when they come with bone-in skin on. If you see, some of them do have a lot of overhanging skin. What I would do is come with your chicken shears or your kitchen shears, like so, and just take off all that extra skin, because you don't need that hanging around in the pot, because that will render out anyway. So let's get that sauce going. Let's start with our sauce now. I have chicken stock, whether you make it or store-bought, is going right in. All the exact measurements are right down below in the description center for you. And you want to use a low sodium if you're buying it, and the shoyu is going in. Because look at all that shoyu, and you know how salty soy sauce is. So you want to make sure and use the low sodium on both if you can try. If you have the shoyu, you don't need to use the low sodium because that comes already a little low. And the brown sugar. Brown sugar going right on in. And the pan is cold right now. That's a really important tip. We don't have anything going, no heat whatsoever on anything right now. And there's all of our ginger and garlic. All that is going right in. We'll just give that a stir. and start to dissolve some of that sugar. And to that, we are going to add just 2 tablespoons of vinegar. I'm using a coconut vinegar. You do not have to use a coconut vinegar. You could use a white wine vinegar, a rice wine vinegar, whatever you have in the cabinet. I had this and I thought this would go amazing with it. So what we want to do now is we're going to just put our chicken right on in. So the chicken is going right in to the sauce. And why we did not turn the burner on yet is because it's gonna render the fat out of this way much better, and you won't have that gray foam when you cook chicken hard and you have to scoop off all the scum off the top. So that is going in, and right on top of that you can just add in your Maui onions, and they will just melt down in there and just become caramelized and delicious. Now we're going to turn the burner on. We'll turn it on a high until you start to see the simmering. And after that, there we go. Once it comes up to a simmer, I'll show you. We'll put a lid on and back it all the way down to a low. The shoyu chicken has just come up to a boil. We want to immediately, as soon as you see that, take it down to a low and place a lid on it. And you really don't have to do anything as long as all the chicken is submerged in the shoyu sauce. It's super easy recipe. This will go for about 35 minutes. It will be cooked through, but if you want it fall off tender, anywhere from 45 to 55 minutes will be your sweet spot. But you want to make sure and keep it on a rolling low simmer. Shouldn't be a heavy boil. It should be a few bubbles and simmering. And I fell in love with this in Hawaii. If you guys follow me on Instagram, my link is down below for Instagram. You could see me on vacations when I'm doing classes. I was here speaking with some chefs in Hawaii. I had the best time. So we'll let that go, and I'll show you what it looks like in a few. While our shoyu chicken is simmering over here, a perfect time to talk about the wine. This is Foxen in Santa Maria Valley Pinot. I was so blessed to be able to go here and sample the wine. It was spectacular, I have to tell you. Let me give this a little smell first. Wow. Right off the bat, I'm getting like cranberry, pomegranate with a little raspberry and like a hint of thyme. This is lovely. On the taste, definitely the cranberry and raspberry with a slight little taste of cherry. You're gonna fall in love with this one, and this is gonna go amazing with the shoyu chicken. I just removed the lid for you to show you the very slight simmer that's going on in the shoyu chicken. So it's very important. So we'll let that go, and I'm gonna put the lid back on, and it's time to make some your favorite rice. It smells amazing in this house. Let's remove this lid. And what we wanna do is we are gonna take out these chicken thighs, and what we're gonna do is now we're gonna thicken up this amazing gravy. So it's gonna be, you're gonna pour it over the rice. It's gonna be amazing. You're just gonna love it, I'm telling you. So these chicken are gonna come out. Skim a little bit of the fat off the top that has rendered out from the chicken thighs. So that'll all float to the top, so you can just skim that out. And I'm gonna get a little cornstarch slurry together here, and we're gonna thicken up this sauce. To thicken it up, I'm gonna do a little cornstarch slurry here. I have water, equal parts water and cornstarch. And we're gonna mix this together. Do that with cold water too, because if you do, it keeps the clumps from forming too, which is great. So that's ready. Let's get that in. You want to bring your shoyu sauce up to a boil before adding your cornstarch slurry, and just add it little at a time. And once I said before, this is not going to make the actual sauce thick. I just want to coat the back of the spoon so it gets all over the chicken. Let's pour the rest of that slurry in there. There we go. And that will just take a minute and it'll thicken right up. Our cornstarch has thickened up our amazing gravy, and this is the consistency that I'm looking for. See how it's just coating the spoon perfectly. I like to add mine to the broiler, so I just put it in a pan with some foil, just a few minutes, enough to crisp up the skin and turn it nice and golden brown. My favorite way to pair the shoyu chicken is with some of your favorite wild rice, a little bit of green scallions. I like to put my little California twist with a little bit of red Fresno chilies for just a little bit of a kick. And then you got to pour some more of this delicious shoyu sauce down over the top of the chicken. Oh yes, and down onto the rice. Don't forget the rice. Before I taste, I would first like to thank all my subscribers. And if you're not yet a subscriber, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any of my recipes. And don't forget to like and share and ring that bell, because that notifies you I have a new recipe, and I have one every Tuesday guaranteed. Cheers to that, and I'm putting my wine down. By the way, shoyu chicken is always paired with, in Hawaii, some of your favorite white rice to soak up all that sauce, and your favorite macaroni salad. So let's dig on in. I'm gonna cut myself a nice piece. Oh yeah, see how tender that was? That just fall apart tender. I want a little bit of rice to go along with it too. Wow. That is amazing. I feel like I'm back in Hawaii already. But where's my Mai Tai? I have wine. But thanks for stopping by Wine and Dine with Jeff. And we'll see you next week.